I love fall and soups are calling my name. Stick around for 3 of our favorites. Greetings and welcome to or welcome back to PB with Jay. Here on the channel we focus on all things plant-based goodness, and today we're going to talk about one of my favorite things. I love fall. I love the smells, I love the colors, I love the flavors, I love the soup. And while we have a lot of our own recipes that I love that are available in our cookbook, which I'll talk about a little bit later, there are a couple that we have reviewed here on the channel in our recipe review videos that are some of our favorites that I thought I would put all together into a compilation so you don't have to go searching for them on your own. We've got a cozy chickpea tomato soup from Vegan Vibes, a Goofproof Minestrone from the Edgy Veg, and a very fast veggie lentil soup from the Power Foods diet. If while you are watching this or after you finish it, you're thinking, hey, that's great, I'd like more of those, let me know, because we definitely have enough to fill another video or 2 if that's the kind of thing you guys are interested in. And if you have some go-to soup recipes that you'd like us to try here on the channel, drop them in the comments down below and maybe we'll do a video trying soup recipes that you've suggested. All right, to the soups. For dinner on a freezy, rainy day, I'm gonna make this cozy chickpea tomato soup. The reason I picked this recipe was because it just had ingredients for a tomato soup that I haven't seen before. And even though Wooly is not crazy about tomato stuff these days, I thought because of the butternut squash in here, all the chickpeas in here, it would help to like dilute it and make it not so bad for her. Bad's not the right word. Anyway, I also just love that it's got like a nice starch in here. It's got a really nice protein source in here. There's fat from the chickpeas as well. It's one of those soups that you can actually eat that fills you up and it's got all the good stuff. So that's a plus for me too. And this is really, really simple. The only thing I'm really doing is avoiding using the oil, which I know some people will argue doesn't open up the spices as well, but I don't care. I don't want the oil. So we're gonna saute the onion, garlic, and ginger together just until the onion is nice and soft. Because I'm not using oil, I splashed in some vegetable broth here and there. Then you're gonna sprinkle all of these spices together and just stir and just toast them a little bit for like 30 seconds or so. Make sure the onion and everything gets nice and coated with those spices. Then we're gonna dump everything else in. She calls for bouillon cubes here, better than bouillon. That's not something I could find or see in the grocery stores here in Canada. So literally, I'm just using our homemade vegetable broth here and hoping that it's got the same vibe and does what it needs to do. I think that's fine. Use vegetable broth. Make your own vegetable broth. We're gonna bring that up to a simmer and then let it sit for about 30 minutes just until the butternut squash is softened. And then she says to take an immersion blender to it. If you don't have an immersion blender, throw it in your blender and whir it up a couple cups at a time. And then, you can mince it up as chunky or as smooth as you like it, depending on your own tastes. And then just season it with salt and pepper. She recommends garnishing it with cilantro, although the photo doesn't look like cilantro. It looks like thyme, which I have some. I have some fresh thyme, so I'll put some of that in our soup. It's gonna be here. Smelling my thyme while the soup cooks.
Just got new nails, then flinch. Oui, oui.
Why is there thyme in it?
For garnish, for beauty.
Okay. It needs salt and pepper.
Okay, she does say to garnish it with salt and pepper, so why don't you add some and then see if you like it more.
6 hours later.
Oh, yeah, that's better. It's weirdly sweet. I don't know. I like it being more tomatoey. It's pretty good though.
Yeah, very good.
I'm gonna give it like a A.
Yeah?
More tomato would be higher mark.
Okay. Ooh, that reminds me of a soup I used to get at a little bistro near a place I worked downtown Toronto. That mixture of nicest spices she selected for this are really strongly. This is the kind of soup that is going to taste amazing tomorrow. And it tastes really good now. I like this a lot. And it doesn't taste tomato, so I think for Emily, it'll be just right. But Ephraim's not wrong. If you're going to call this a tomato soup, I would maybe reduce the butternut squash. Because the amount of tomatoes is probably fine. But for tomato soup, it's like an A. For just a soup on its own, it's like an A+ to an S for me. It's really, really nice. I will gladly eat this tomorrow. And it's nice to know because the chickpeas, it's got everything you need for like a full meal.
Yeah, it tastes more like butternut squash soup.
But for you, I think that makes it more palatable, right?
Yeah.
Because you were not excited about the idea of having tomato soup.
No. Squash soup. It's an A.
The flavor's really nice, eh?
Mm-hmm.
The ginger and everything.
Yeah.
It's good
Gotta
stuff.
run.
Bye! She's working on the dessert. You're going to see that in a few minutes.
What is that for?
Garnish.
But we're not at a restaurant. Like, are you expecting me to eat this?
Yeah. Yeah.
What is it?
It's time. You can put it in. It's like little time leaves. It's
It gives
good.
me more time? For what? Mine! What does time taste like?
Try it.
I am trying out. Ugh! Ugh! It's good. It's got a good soupy taste to it. You know? Tastes like soup. The texture is giving chunky soup. Chunky blended soup.
All right. What do you give it?
I give it an A.
Tonight for dinner, we're making Goofproof Minestrone Soup. It just says minestrone. Minestrone? You know me and my mispronunciations. The idea behind this soup is that if you just bragged about your cooking skills to somebody and then they're coming over to have a meal with you, this is something you can't screw up. Luckily, we're pretty proficient in the kitchen. But also, I just needed something today because I was sad because I had an explosion in the house that was all of my kombucha exploded in the closet at once. I heard a hiss, and then it sounded like a firework went off. It scared the hell out of me. The dogs freaked out. And it looked like it snowed inside of the closet, except it was glass. And so instead of editing this afternoon, I spent 3 hours cleaning that up mostly, and then I gotta tackle the rest of it tonight and figure out which clothing pieces are worth dry cleaning and which ones are not. Anywho, luckily it's the first time in 4 years of brewing kombucha that I've had an accident. Bad news is I'm done. I'm done brewing kombucha because that was not worth the effort. And also, I know some of you posted recently about how maybe it's not as healthy as people have claimed it to be in the past. Anywho's, rest in peace, Walter. That was the name of my SCOBY. I will turn you into gummies, and that will be the end of you. Anyway, to the soup. It's really simple. It's basically a one-pot meal, except you've gotta... Well, it doesn't say you have to cook the pasta separately, because we're using gluten-free pasta. I just find, generally speaking, with pasta and soup, it's better to cook it separately and add it to your bowl as you go. Because of that, I'll probably cook the whole box of pasta. This only calls for a cup dry, but I'm gonna cook a whole package. And then we've got it ready in case kids want it for lunches or putting it in soup. Obviously, I'm gonna omit the oil here because it's just for cooking and you don't need it. The only big change I'm gonna do besides that is I'm going to not use the bouillon cubes. I'm just gonna use vegetable broth as part of the liquid that goes in here. Otherwise, we're making this as is. Looking forward to it. I love minestrone. I think Willie won't be her favorite. She's not big on tomatoes, but I'm going to blitz up the diced tomatoes to make them more like crushed tomatoes because I know that will go better for her. This is essentially like a one-pot soup if you're adding the pasta into it, but it's pretty simple either way.
How's your day?
They already know, I told them. We already vented about my closet experience, my 3 hours of cleaning or however long it took.
This is pretty good. Is this your recipe? Looks like your recipe.
Minestrone.
I mean, all minestrones are pretty similar. No, this is Candace's
All
Edgy Veg.
minestrone suck except for habitat.
I like that.
I like this.
Red monster.
It's like a nice little broth, eh? It's got good flavors. This is really good. It's like the kind I would expect in a restaurant. It's really good.
I would never order this in a restaurant.
No, neither would I. Unless it was the only vegetarian thing on the menu or vegan thing on the menu. which in some places it might be. But even then, they're like, we can put beef broth in it. Because F you, that's why. For a minestrone soup that I could make in, I don't know, I made this really quick. I'm going to give this an S. It's like as good as a homemade minestrone soup gets. I think it's really, really good. You don't even like soup. What do you think?
I give it an A. Oh, I don't really like soup.
Ernie?
Sometimes.
I give it a B because it's a minestrone soup.
What's that mean?
You like all the things. You like pasta, you like beans.
Yeah, what in here don't you like?
I don't like them all together.
It needs more salt.
Yeah, I want a little more salt too.
And maybe it could be creamier.
Yeah. I think that's because I didn't cook the pasta in it. Because it's gluten-free pasta, it would get... But if you cook the pasta in it, it'll get creamier because the starch of the pasta will come off on it. So, it could be creamier if I did that, which is not the recipe's fault.
But definitely more salt.
Yeah. What would you give it otherwise?
B.
A B?
Yeah.
Just jumping in here to let you know that if you are enjoying these soup recipes, maybe you'll enjoy some of the soup recipes from our cookbook. You can get the digital copy that is available at the QR code, that is right here on the screen. But if you want a hard copy, we do have them now in stock again, and you can email me right here with your full address, and we can let you know how you can get one of these. Some of the soups that are in this book include a chickpea chowder, a clamless tofu chowder, which is one of my favorites, a lentil stew, which people rave to me about all the time. It includes pickles, but you don't have to add them if you don't like pickles. But if you don't like pickles, we have a much bigger conversation to have. And obviously, it includes our world famous taco soup. I can say world famous because people around the world have let me know that they like it. So it's world famous. Anyway, if you've been waiting to get a copy, or if you're new to the channel and you want to pick one up, get some of our family favorite recipes, that's how you do so. All right, back to the soups. Tonight, we're making very fast veggie lentil soup. And it's even faster because Wooly did all the vegetable prep for me. Thanks, Wooly.
You're welcome.
This literally is very, very simple. So you heat your pot up on the stove and you're gonna add in the onion, carrots, and celery and let that get a little cooked, sauteed for like 3 minutes or so, just until everything gets a little soft. Then you're gonna add the garlic in and saute that for 1 more minute. After that, you're gonna add in the potato and broth. Fun fact, we are out of veggie broth, so what we're gonna do in place of that is use the same amount of liquid, and I'm just gonna use a salt-free seasoning like Mrs. Dash. Costco also has its own salt-free seasoning that you can use. I'm gonna put a tablespoon of this in. That should give it, a nice little boost of flavors that vegetable broth would do as well. Once those potatoes are fork tender, about 6 or 8 minutes into it, we're gonna add the rest of the ingredients. And let it simmer for 2 to 4 minutes until the broccoli is basically cooked. All in all, this thing should take less than 30 minutes, not counting the cutting time. So the recipe doesn't ask you to, but for a soup like this, I like to blitz it up with the little hand mixer. It just, blends things together and mixes the flavors a bit better. Especially for something that's a quick soup, where I'm sure the flavors, if you left them overnight, would kind of mingle a bit more. I think, let me put a little salt in, and pepper. It's just a little simple in flavor. It's not bad. People can just salt and pepper this to taste. Maybe add a little hot sauce would be good. I may even throw a little nooch on mine.
That's pretty good. It's very vegetable-y. Tastes like any old soup. I'm gonna put some more pepper in mine.
But the base of it's good?
Yeah.
What would you give it?
I'll give it an A.
He said it doesn't have much flavor, but the flavor's pretty good.
It's really good. I did put some salt and pepper in it. I really like it. I like how much vegetable is in it. Got a lot of vegetable in it. And I like that. I would take this with me for lunch and I would eat it. I would give it an S.
Yeah, I think it needs a little extra salt and pepper. But it's good. Like Willie says, it's got a nice basis of flavor. I would just keep adding, I'm gonna add some nooch to this. It's good. It just needs some extra stuff. I think the base is all good. I like the construction of the soup. I like all the ingredients. I just want to add more flavorings. I'm gonna give this like a B+. The flavor's just not there yet, but it could be.
I have to wait till it cools down. It hurts my mouth.
The next day.
It's good. I like it. Yeah, there you go.
What do you give it?
I like it. It tastes good. Oh, there's Mother. It tastes good. I like all the vegetables. I like the corn. I give it an A.
So, forgot to put the tomato in. Oh man, that tomato actually adds so much more to the flavor. I'm gonna agree. That's an S now for me. All right, it's crazy how much that tomato added to that flavor. Before we wrap up, I just want to give a quick hello to some of you who said hello to us in the comments down below. Michelle from Athens, Georgia. Marie Dion from Bristol, Vermont. Pat in Peterborough, Ontario. Zaid, who lives in Toronto, Ontario. Dee Dee from Colorado Springs, Colorado. Mick from Tasmania. Nicole from San Antonio, Texas. Tony from Australia. Geetha from Alapay in India. Marley from Buda, Texas. And Sean in Steamy, Florida. If you'd like a shout out here on the channel, all you have to do is say hello to us in the comments down below. Let us know who you are, where you're watching from, and let us know what is one of your go-to soup recipes this time of year. And if you want to bump up in that shout out list, you can consider joining us over the Mighty Network for that perk, along with many others, including new recipes that we are trying out for upcoming potential book projects, along with just like weekly conversations that we have all the time, and just having a group of like-minded individuals that you can go to. And you can join us over there for the price of a crappy cup of coffee a month. I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, let us know in the comments down below if you would like another or a series more of these videos, because we do have lots of soup recipes that we've tried over the years that we enjoy, that we think you will enjoy too. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do so and double check that you are subscribed, because some people think they are and they're not. And obviously like this video so YouTube knows to share it with other people. And if you got a few more minutes, stick around, because YouTube has this video all queued up for you, because they're nice like that. They know you want more, so they're gonna give it to you.